Meanwhile, you're always about women's business. Always talking about the sisters. Always talking to the sisters. They've got mahrams. They've got walis. They've got their guardians. It isn't you. I mean, I hate to use their terminology, but this is about the most beta thing you can possibly do. Always in the women's section. And the irony is that these are the same ones who are endlessly droning on and on about masculinity. Meanwhile, you can't do the basic thing, the most basic thing that men do as men, which is to ignore women. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean that in an obnoxious way, but women have their world, their sphere, and men have their world and their sphere. But meanwhile, you're always trying to weasel your way into the sphere of women, under the guise of nasiha, under the guise of advice. But you're just like a peeping Tom who's trying to justify why he's doing what he's doing by saying that you're just trying to check up on the sisters to make sure that they're safe. No, it's not your business. The men are over here, brother. Meanwhile, you keep sliding your way back to where the sisters are. And this is very disrespectful. It's very insulting to their walis. I mean, let's take this offline, Let me catch you on the street talking to my wife or talking to my sisters about how they shouldn't go out, or they shouldn't go to the gym, or they shouldn't go to school, or you don't like the way they're dressed, or what have you. I wish you would. You better hope that red pill you took is a painkiller, because you're going to be dancing cheek to cheek with the concrete. Yeah.
Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lady. Get your life. Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lady. Get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type to come to it at 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life. Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lady. Get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray-cray, approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these hands tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lady. Get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lady. Get your life.
Get your life, boo.
Alrighty. Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music. Give me a one or a two down in the listening lounge if you folks can hear me. Give me a one or a two down there. I see you up in the listening lounge there, Shar. How you doing? Come on up on the panel and join me in just a second here. Folks, you see what's on the screen right there. A couple of things we're going to chop up today. I know I normally start up with saying that you're not supposed to be in the sisters business, but someone asked me to have a cover of what we're going to talk about, part of the stream tonight. So we're going to get to that a little bit later on in the show. We're also going to talk about what it is. Can you be pro-black and pro-American as at the same time, or one of those, do those things coincide? We'll discuss that as we look at stream from Mr. Sharon Bracey over there at the Wake Up Morning Show. Hey there, Jay Lynn. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you. Come on in. Take a seat. And also, we'll be talking about, let me just go ahead and start it off with this, folks. I'm sure everyone has seen it. I'm sure everybody's heard about it. But before I get to that, let me introduce folks. Someone is always here with me on the left-hand side of me, on the right-hand side of me, and sometimes she keeps me right in the middle. Like Jeffrey Osborne said, she's on the left, she's in the middle. Talking about the one and only Charwilie of the JustAskchar Advice Channel. Come on in, Char, and say hello to the good folks, if you don't mind. You know where everything is at. We got a little different setup this week. I had to rearrange some furniture.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I don't mind if I do, and hello, everyone.
Mm-hmm. How's the weather in Chicago?
Up and down. We're in the 50s now.
Well,
With wind.
Well, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
It's early. It's May.
Yeah, we in them 60s and 70s, balmy. Actually, it was pretty hot today. We had a thunderstorm come through early this morning, about 3-4 o'clock, lasted about 6 o'clock this morning. So, couldn't get out and do my regular business. But other than that, I had a little time to catch up on a few things. And while I was perusing around this, one of the hot topics in the YouTube streets, also in the general public. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it or not, but there was a man by the name of Rodney Hinton Jr. He was gunned down by the police. Rodney Hinton Sr., as some folks say, took matters into his own hands after finding out that his son was unalived by police, as some folks say, for reason that he shouldn't have been shot for, as he was fleeing. Basically, he was shot over a supposedly stolen car, but the narrative that they gave didn't coincide with the father saw in the body cam footage.
Oh.
Shortly after seeing the body cam footage, the first policeman that he saw, he ran them over. I don't know how I would handle that situation. What's up there, Black Hawk? How you doing, good brother? I don't know. I can tell you, to be quite honest with you, I don't condone the life that was lost, but I understand. I really do.
Okay.
And I wonder what's going to be the charge. Is it going to be a crime of passion? What would you do? Sure, I know you're not a male, but I know you don't have children. No disrespect intended on that. But what would you do if you was a mother and you saw some footage of your child being gunned down for absolutely no reason while he or she was running away? How would that affect your psyche?
Oh boy, that would really tear me up inside. And, just depends on my age and how fed up I am. I might just take things in my own hand. I'm like, I've had enough of this. And I go out the way I go out.
Yeah, because in this case, they can't say that the kid was a bad kid. They can't say he was hanging in the street. They can't say that he wasn't, didn't come from a two-parent household and different things like that. But through unseen circumstances. He was unalived in the street as he was running. The narrative that came out, even the heads of the town and the state that happened in, they gave the narrative completely different to what the father saw. So the father acknowledged the fact that if he had not seen that footage, the narrative would have been that his son was a thug.
Okay.
Me as a father, go ahead, Char. Go ahead.
You know, again, I can understand it. If you're fed up, you like, whatever I do, I can follow the rules A to Z. But when it comes down to me, none of the rules apply for the others.
No.
Just to me. That's it. So I can do the right thing, still get punished. Do the wrong thing, still get punished. So hey, I'm gonna go ahead and go on this side of the.
I'm gonna take to some folks say, well, he wasn't the one that did it. To me, I don't see no difference because you're all part of the system, as far as I saw it. If I was the father of that young man that got, of course, on YouTube they want you to use unalive, so I'll use it. If I was the father of that young man that got unalived, chances are I would have done the same thing. I'm not sure of a man's name, but he's one of the guys that was on the Hidden Color series. I can't think of his name right now, but there was a video that he put out about 2 years ago, and I'll try and quote him as best I can. But he says, as a black man, you have the duty. He said, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to call Al Sharpton. I don't want no parades. I don't want no marches. I'm going to quietly bury my baby. And then I'm going to go find the person. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill his wife. And I'm going to kill his children.
Okay, whatever. Sound like a movie that we would like to watch, you know.
A Time to Kill. That's exactly the plot. Someone said that earlier. I was listening to Sharon Bracey's panel earlier, and someone mentioned that. And it's to me, this is on the same parallel. What would you do?
Yeah, I could see that.
No, what would you do? They can't say there's absolutely no way, because you got to think of the buildup. The night before, he know that his son was unalived, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next morning, he's going to go see this footage of what happened to his son. Somebody already gave him a narrative of what happened, so that's what he's expecting to see. But that's not what he saw. I would have snapped myself.
Yeah.
Like Ahmaud Arbery. Same thing. If his mother had not done her due diligence, none of those folks would be in jail right now. None of them.
Mm-hmm.
But sure, let's if you don't mind, say hello and talk to the people for a minute. Let me go pull up my first thing here, and then we'll deal directly with that. And you'll see the look of a proud father is what I saw. But anyway, let me go pull this up, and we'll be right there. And I'll sure handle this for me just a second, would you?
All right. I know we all like seeing those type of movies, and usually, we look at them as the hero, and more likely they come out alive. And we ate our popcorn, we watched it, we cheered them on all through the chaos and everything. But unfortunately, when it comes to us, we just don't get the fair share. We can have the same exact court case, have our time in court before the same judge. Of course, it'll be different jurors, but it'll be a different outcome. Absolutely will. I know you guys hear this thunder. I don't know if you can hear, but there's thunder in the background. So sure, for some reason or the other, I get cut off. I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. I live out in the boonies, so when the thunderstorms roll in, you know what happens. But let's press on here, folks, and let's take a look at this footage right here. This is my man, Mr. Hinton, being arraigned in court. Now, I want y'all to look at not only the look on Mr. Hinton's face, but the look of utter disgust and the intimidation that they thought they was going to do to this man. There's nothing about losing my son that you could ever intimidate me about.
Nothing. Nothing. Let's go. Hey, Lana, how you doing? Good to see you.
In Atlanta, for High Plus News, I'm John Alva. Rodney Hinton Jr. has been charged with the aggravated murder of a sheriff's deputy, Larry.
Let me stop that just for a second and remove this. I had forgot to do something here. Hold on just a second. Let me roll up here.
Henderson after hitting him while he was directing traffic near the University of Cincinnati. Now, the story goes even deeper, as Hinton Jr. is the father of 18-year-old Ryan Hinton, who was shot and killed by an officer just the day before. Authorities are now saying Rodney purposely and intentionally struck the deputy as an act of revenge. Now, the day before Rodney Hinton hit a sheriff's deputy with his car, his son Ryan Hinton was killed by a Cincinnati police officer who responded to a report of a stolen vehicle. NBC News reports that 4 people in the alleged stolen car ran after the police approached them. In that report, Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Theet said Ryan was armed. The police video would show an officer exiting his vehicle, pointing a gun at young Ryan, who appeared to be running away. The police chief said the officer fired at least 4 times and believes Ryan was hit by 2 bullets, one in the chest and one in the arm. A gun was reportedly recovered at the scene. Now, according to ABC News, attorneys for Hinton's family said Rodney.
Okay, let me just stop that just for a second. If you're running away, how do you get hit in the chest?
You only get that if you're black, so.
Right. That was the initial report that we just heard. He said that the police chief said that he was shot at 4 times, one hitting him in the arm and one hitting him in the chest. Not unless I'm blind, that footage that we just saw clearly showed that young man running away. Did I miss
well,
something?
he left that part out. It didn't matter which direction he was going.
Yeah.
See, that's how they do it. See.
Yeah. Sad but true, Char. Sad but true. Let's continue.
Along with other family members, met with the Cincinnati police to view the body camera footage of Ryan's death. An excerpt of a statement from the attorneys read, Ryan Hinton's family, including Ryan's father, was present at the meeting, and they were understandably distraught as they watched the body cam video. After meeting with the police department, Ryan Hinton's father left in his own vehicle, and that was the last we heard from him until learning about the tragic incident involving a law enforcement officer who was working a traffic detail near the University of Cincinnati. Hinton's family members would say that after viewing the video, Rodney was upset and agitated. Concerns of Rodney driving rose. Therefore, NBC News reports some relatives drove him from the station, but he returned soon after to pick up his vehicle.
Did you see how he was looking at them? There's nothing y'all can do to me that you hadn't already done.
Yep.
There's nothing that you can do to me that you have not already done by taking my son's life. It's no stolen car, no amount of money that anyone can steal that you should open fire on them for any reason. That's what the court system is for. If he did something wrong, put him in handcuffs, take him to jail. Go through the judicial system. You don't play judge, jury, and executioner all in less than 30 seconds. Sure.
Catch who you can catch. Hopefully somebody snitch on the others, and that be it. If not, you just didn't catch that person.
That's it. It's surely nothing that's been reported so far was worth this kid losing his life over. A stolen car. That's the value. But let's continue.
A Cincinnati police officer explained Rodney actually left the parking lot, followed by some family members and another car, and then a few minutes later returned to the parking lot, drove through the parking lot, and left the parking lot again. The news report would continue. From there, Hinton drove toward the university and appeared to stop before he allegedly accelerated quickly through the intersection where Deputy Henderson was standing. The vehicle struck the deputy and the utility pole. There was no indication that Hinton tried to stop. Attorneys on behalf of the family would say, I don't think he was a cop killer. I think he was not in his right mind, and I think he should be treated like any other mentally ill person that commits a crime. A news conference was held this past Monday by the Hinton family where they addressed the shooting. Rodney Hinton Sr. would speak on behalf of his son and grandson. I want to give condolences to the officers who got hurt, who got killed, the whole family. I'm going to ask for forgiveness. And I've been praying hard for the officer that killed my grandson. Prosecuting attorney Ryan Nelson called Rodney's actions calculated and premeditated, stating he lined up his car, deliberately accelerated his car, and purposely caused the death of an on-duty deputy sheriff. Now, interesting enough, there appears to be conflicting reports on whether or not Ryan Hinton was armed. Tariq Nasheed, who remains a consistent commentator on racial issues, would chime in on the situation. On social media site X, he would go on to write, "When you watch the body cam footage, Ryan Hinton clearly did not point a gun at a Cincinnati police officer. Those types of 'I'm white and I say so' lies are always used to justify unaliving black youths. And that's why Ryan's father, Ryan Hinton Jr., crashed out after he saw the footage and realized the police lied about what really happened."
And that's a fact. I couldn't agree more. That's why. It wasn't that his son was right or wrong. It was the fact that they lied about it. They said that kid pointed a gun at him. Clearly, he did not. And that's always the narrative, folks, that they try and put out about unaliving our children. That he had a gun or he had a something. I know, Char, since I've been in these YouTube streets, I've covered story after story after story of folks, kids with cell phones on their hand, kids with Skittles in their hands, and all different things. And that was the justifiable reason for the police unloading. Laquan McDonald, a policeman shot him 16 times. Come on, folks. And it was justified because they said he was coming at him with a knife. I don't care if he was coming at you with a knife, sir, 16 times. Sure.
Yeah, they get to do all of that. We don't get a chance to say mental illness. No, you're always in your right mind. And if you just kind of switch it and say, oh, well, that officer that he ran down, he was pointing a weapon at him. They'll never let that fly.
Right, and you never, and this is what, to me, shout out to APTV. How you living, good brother, folks? Make sure you check out my man APTV. He got a nice little channel over there, always chopping it up. With I would say a pretty good dash of humor, wouldn't you say, Shar?
Yeah, he's doing it like he's doing it for TV.
Yeah, APTV, folks. Check him out. But anyway, I know to not to make light of the situation, but me personally, there's absolutely nothing. If I was married, if I wasn't married, if my parents were still alive, there's nothing no one could have said to me to change my mind about what I knew I had to do. Enough is enough. Now, some folks will say what I'm about to say is kind of harsh, but I guarantee you this, folks. There will be a time that policemen will be sorry that they pulled the trigger on anyone. And I think that time is now. Folks are not taking this laying down no more. It's the old adage. Y'all want to claim that you're Christians? Well, go to the Bible and it says an eye for an eye. Does it not?
Yeah.
Okay. So is Mr. Hinton not in direct alignment with the Bible?
Oh, they don't want to use that either.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. Not till sentencing
not
time.
Yet. Right. and then let's look at it this way. Okay. The report said he intentionally did this. He intentionally did that. But how many of these mass shootings that we've seen over the years? And the first thing they say, because we already know who's doing the mass shootings, the first thing they say is mental health issues.
Yeah.
And, Mr. Hinton didn't have no mental health issues. The man snapped.
Well, you could go into mental illness for a lesser sentence and things like that.
That's
but
right.
Let any of us use
but
that.
But
No,
that right. But that is unfortunately, how many times folks have gotten, those palm colored folks have gotten off with that same defense. No, I wasn't crazy until
100%.
right. Okay. Let's finish let's finish this. Y'all get mad if you want to. Those who get mad about what we're saying, guess what? We talking to you.
The officer who shot and killed Ryan remains unidentified, as the judge denied Rodney's bond and ordered him to be held until the next hearing, Tuesday, May 6. Hinton Jr. would plead not guilty. What do you think about the story of this black father allegedly hitting a deputy with his car after his son was murdered by police? Do you feel his pain, and what do you think should happen next? Stay up to date for the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell and select all so you can see all of our updates and not just some. Live from Hype's Club in Atlanta, for Hype Plus News, I'm John Abba.
All right, there. Appreciate that Hype Plus News. I like to give credit where credit's due, folks, especially when I use their material. So make sure you go and check out Hype Plus News over there. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to. It's not up to me for you. If you like the content that's over there, by all means. If you like it, tell them DJ Music sent you. If you don't like it, don't mention me. Okay, don't mention me. All right. So again, Char, there's not too much I can add to that because I'm sorry, but I'm on the side of Mr. Hinton here because I would have done the same thing. I cannot be hypocritical. I would have done the same exact thing.
Understandable.
Folks say, well, it wasn't that policeman that shot him. No, he wasn't looking at that particular policeman singling him out. He was just looking at the blue wall of silence, the blue wall of shame, the blue wall of liars. That's what he saw. You kill my dog, I'll kill your cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, indeed. Well, let's move on to our next one here. If you'll keep the folks company. I know y'all hear the thunder in the background.
I heard it that time. I think
Yeah.
probably only because you were speaking, but not a problem at all.
Right. All right. I'll be right back, and I'll pull up our next clip here.
Okay. I used to do these stories all the time, but it just started tearing me up. So I just had to stop. I couldn't take it because it's like reading the same story over and over. All I'm doing is just changing the character's name. And I just couldn't take too much of that anymore. And I just stopped. I just couldn't. I'm like,
Right.
well, you hear about it in the news, it have to be reported somewhere else. I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing about it. You kind of get numb to it after a while, sure, but you have to step away, and you have to take a breath from it and say, you know what, somebody got to talk about it. So it is sometimes it is a bitter pill to swallow. I understand, but for me, I got to press on with it. I don't like putting these stories out there, but if you don't, you see how the narrative will go sometimes.
Yes.
Yes. Hey there, Zihara. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so very much for stopping in. Now, our next thing, ladies and gentlemen, the next thing, and a big shout out to ABT. She sent me this clip and she said, "Hey, Mr. Music, what you think about this? Piers Morgan tried to pull a Denroy Lindo. You remember that clip when Denroy Logan he was talking to some white reporters, and the white reporter asked him, "You guys use the N-word all the time, so why can't we use it?" And Denroy looked at him with that look of, "Say it."
Okay, let's
ahead.
find out.
Right, go ahead, say it. Let's see what'll happen. Go ahead. So Piers Morgan, the guy, the British guy that's always got his nose in American business. He had a bunch of folks up on this panel. One of the folks was Marc Lamont Hill. Now, I don't agree with a lot of things. I won't say a lot, but Marc Lamont Hill, he was on the panel along with some other devout racists, because one of the ladies actually said she was. One of the ladies that's on the panel, I actually reported her because of what she used the N-word about several times. So I saw it, and I reported it to YouTube. I most certainly did. Not gonna lie to you, sure did. But anyway, let's look at this clip here, and to give you a thing of it. The bottom line is Piers Morgan tried to dare a white lady to use the N-word, but we'll go from there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Do Views. Anything for a darn
Yeah,
view.
clicks and views, right.
And subscribe. You're watching the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel.
Peace, family. This is your brother, Marc Lamont Hill. I'm here today to talk about something that happened on the Piers Morgan show last night. I was on Piers, as I often am, to discuss issues around race, issues around society. And, you know, it's often controversial. We often don't agree, and I often leave frustrated. But this time was different. For once, me and Piers weren't even on a different side of the aisle. Me and Piers were basically agreeing. But the conversation revolved around this white woman who was caught on tape using the N-word against a 5-year-old black autistic child. And no one, let me take that back. Piers wasn't disagreeing that was wrong. He was just asking the question, you know, what does it mean for there to be a GoFundMe for this woman, a GoFundMe, which is worth now over $500,000 for this white woman. At the same time, of course, there's a GoFundMe for Carmelo Anthony, the young man who's accused of stabbing a white, or he's charged with murder now, not just stabbing, but with murder.
Okay, let me touch on that just for a minute, folks. The two are not the same. There's no comparison in the two. I know some people want to say there is a comparison. The only comparison is the GoFund. You're talking about a grown ass woman that decided to use the foul language to a child, not a toddler, not a teeny, a child. Not only that, the child. It could come out of her. What?
It was the internet,
Go
but
ahead,
you're
sir.
back now. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm back. Accuse the child of stealing, right?
Uh-huh.
And then after you accuse the child of stealing, don't say, no, that's wrong, honey. Don't do that. That doesn't belong to you. The best thing to come out your mouth as a grown woman is to use the N-word. And then double down on it when you got caught.
Well,
No.
she had to worry about any pushback from the child. Wasn't going to hit and hurt her or anything like that. And she was rewarded by those who agree. So that's what that is.
And that's exactly what I mean. This is the whole of America, whether nobody wants to admit that or not. This is the whole of America. Just the mere fact that she knew, as a white woman, she could call and say, hey, call out the reinforcements and say, hey, look what happened to me. And they'll come out of the woodwork. It's okay. It's all right to be a racist, folks. In this country, it's all right. It's profitable. Nick Fuentes, Just Pearly Things, Charlie Kirkland. The list goes on of those who peddle and racist rhetoric. But when you call them out on it, all of a sudden you're being sensitive about it. Not being sensitive. It is what it is. We heard Nick Fuentes said he wouldn't want to live next to black people. Is that being racist?
Sound like it, because
Sounds
why? But anyway, continue.
right. Do I live around Nick Fuentes? Do I have some kind of influence over Nick Fuentes to make that come out of his mouth? I think
Never
not.
met the man.
Never met the man. Do I have any influence on where Charlie Kirkland goes from campus to campus saying that black people inherently steal?
Wow.
Do I make him say that? So if I'm in the woods and I see an animal on 4 legs that's black and got a white stripe down his back, I know that's a skunk. I ain't got a guess to what it is. And the sad thing about it is you got folks here in the manosphere. As I heard them talking about that today. Mr. Fantastic. Sure, I got to say this. I don't know if you'll ever hear this.
I can imagine about what's next when you said his name. Continue.
This guy, Mr. Fantastic, he cannot be of sound mind. There's absolutely no way. He really believes that that it's the pride and joy of black men on the internet to be a part of the manosphere. And they feel rejected and left out because they're not. Nigga, I don't want to be a part of the manosphere. I bet you won't tell Big J that.
Okay.
Okay. But again, it's a rarity that I agree with this cat named Gabe A. But he was right. He was talking about chopping up with obsidian, but you got these guys in the manosphere. I'm getting off track a little bit, but you got these guys in the manosphere that was agreeing with that Just Pearly things. Your boy BGS said Just Pearly things was going to take them to the promised land. Remember that statement?
I remember someone playing that. I do remember hearing that.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure what that meant, but yeah.
I wonder where the promised land at. I don't put his name in my mouth no more. But anyway, you hear Marc Lamont here talking, and so the whole premise is about the N-word. You know that. Piers Morgan knew this. That's why he had those people up on his panel. That's why I say racism is profitable. Ooh.
Yeah.
For killing a white classmate, which he says was in self-defense. And so we were having a debate about, are the GoFundMes the same? Obviously, the people who are supporting Carmelo Anthony aren't saying, yeah, go out there and stab somebody. The people who are supporting Carmelo Anthony are saying, hey, we think he was wrongfully charged. There's more to this story. It was self-defense. It wasn't an act of aggression. We want to investigate the case, and the GoFundMe is used to build a legal defense. That's very different than the people who are funding this white woman. They're not saying she's wrongfully accused. They're not saying she's railroaded. They're saying she did it. And if you read the comments, they're saying, yo, she should be able to use the N-word. And so we have this conversation. I don't know who's coming on. I don't usually ask on debating because, to be honest, it don't matter. I feel confident I'm a defeat bad arguments no matter who makes them. I'm going to defend my side no matter who's talking to me. But I found out it's Myron Gaines. Some of y'all know him from the Fresh and Fit podcast. I don't know much about him, but everything I've seen has been disgusting.
Well, y'all know what my sentiment about Myron Gaines is. He's one of them, as they call them, tethers. I got a different word for him. Around here, we call them sand niggas.
I've heard him use that. Somebody was playing a clip. I heard him say that word out his mouth.
Right. Because that's what he knows. That's what he is. He came in under the pretense of want to hang out with the brothers. He tried to act like one of us because, we got some light-skinned brothers, so he could fit in. He fit in. He got in until he decided to say, you know what? I don't need the brothers no more. I'm popular now. So now I can shit on y'all.
Well, actually, when they found his real name, that kind of put that out there. I mean, come on.
That's what happened. He was going to continue perpetrating until somebody told on it.
Yeah, they told on him.
Damn, because his real name ain't Myron. If y'all want to know that, okay.
Gaines either.
No, it ain't Gaines either. Okay. Okay. There you have it.
And no one, let me take that back. Piers wasn't disagreeing that was wrong. He was just asking the question, what does it mean for there to be a GoFundMe for this woman? A GoFundMe, which is worth now over $500,000 for this white woman. At the same time, of course, there's a GoFundMe for Carmelo Anthony. The young man is accused of stabbing a white, or he's charged with murder now, not just stabbing, but with murder. For killing a white classmate, which he says was in self-defense. And so we were having a debate about, are the GoFundMes the same? Obviously, the people who are supporting Carmelo Anthony aren't saying, yeah, go out there and stab somebody. The people who are supporting Carmelo Anthony are saying, hey, we think he was wrongfully charged. There's more to this story. It was self-defense. It wasn't an act of aggression. We want to investigate the case, and the GoFundMe is used to build a legal defense. That's very different than the people who are funding this white woman. They're not saying she's wrongfully accused. They're not saying she's railroaded. They're saying she did it. And if you read the comments, they're saying, yo, she should be able to use the N-word. And so we have this conversation. I don't know who's coming on. I don't usually ask on debating because, to be honest, it don't matter. I feel confident I'm a defeat bad arguments no matter who makes them. I'm going to defend my side no matter who's talking to me. But I found out it's Myron Gaines. You know, some of y'all know him from the Fresh and Fit podcast. I don't know much about him, but everything I've seen has been disgusting. I've seen him and his crew physically attack a woman, a black woman, of course. I've seen him say anti-Semitic slurs. Not just slurs, but just the worst anti-Semitic shit. I've seen him say the worst things about black women, the worst things about black communities, black people. And of course, he's not a black American. He just pretends to be one. His name isn't even Myron Gaines, but he pretends to be one so that he can make conservatives happy. And it looks like, oh, here's a black man finally speaking the truth about his people. He ain't our people. Like they say, they ain't like us. He ain't like us.
Saying nigga. See? Now, Marc Lamont Hill is being nice, but I ain't got to be. Because that's what he is. He came here under the guise that, hey, I'm your buddy. I'm your friend. And I've heard that about Gabe A too. And I actually heard him say that he's pretty much a tether too. But Myron Gaines, though, you know, I got to ask the brothers and the sisters, how y'all let him dupe you like that? The ears didn't give him away. The what do you call that? The pheno? What's that look of how, you know, there's a type of the way you can almost tell that folks can look at me and they're going to think that I come from a particular region of this part of the country. You must be from the South. Yeah, I am. Would you say that about Myron Gaines if you saw him walking down the street?
No.
Would you say he's from Chicago?
If I did think he was from Chicago, I was thinking he was going to school for computer programming or be a doctor.
Okay, or he caught the bus or plane there, right? He wasn't born there.
That's a lot of students here.
Okay, so there you go again, folks. Not everybody should come to the party. Because, you know, to be quite honest with you, Miss Jalen, because she knew, again, I use my statement, because she knew the whole of America. The whole of America for white men is to protect sweet Polly purebred. And she fit the description to a T. Blonde, to them attractive, baby in hand. She got to be protected at all costs.
And paid too, I see.
And paid.
And I was on with this white TikToker. What is her name? She's so unimportant. I almost don't want to give her credit by saying her name, but I will, because one, I want to be accurate, and two, I want people to know that she's trash. You know what I mean? So her name is Lily. What is her name? I just had it in front of me. But Lily Gaddis. Lily Gaddis is her name. And we're going back and forth. I'm explaining to them why what they're saying is stupid. I'm explaining to them how absurd it is that we're even having a debate about whether you should call a 5-year-old autistic black child the N-word. I mean, what are we talking about? But at the end of the debate, at the end of what was basically a 1-hour conversation, Piers is still pressing this woman about the N-word. Earlier in the show, she said, yes, I use the N-word. She said, I use the N-word. I say it freely. She said, I am a racist. She did not deny that. At the end, though, it got even worse. Piers was trying to really point out that she was a racist. He was trying to really show who and what she was about. And so Piers invites her, dares her, really, is probably a better way of saying it, to use the N-word. Here's what he said. Check this out.
And I don't want to live in a country where you can say an inappropriate, rude thing, which, by the way, black people can say things to white people all the time and they never get canceled. There's no backlashing about this.
I was muted there.
Yeah, you were muted.
Yeah. When was the last time you walked up and just called somebody, a white person, out of their name for no reason?
Never thought of it.
That's black people don't do that. regardless of what white people want to believe. We don't do that. We just don't walk up to you and call you a cracker for no reason. We don't call you white bread for no reason. But y'all will use the N-word with impunity for no reason. As we see right here, as we heard the white lady that did it, that called the little autistic child the N-word, and this lady right here, as she's actually saying basically that this should be her First Amendment right to insult somebody. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that what she's saying?
Yeah, that's actually what she's saying.
Which part of the Constitution does that fall under? Yeah. You can use it even if it offends somebody. That's your First Amendment right. You got all the right to offend somebody by what you say, but I don't know what's going to happen after that. Now, if they bust you upside the head down to the white meat.
Yeah, maybe she'll start a GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly, and you will
Well, go
not
on then,
have
say
free-
it. Say
You
the
will
M.
not have
Go on,
free
say.
speech.
Go on, say the M word. Go on.
No.
Hang on.
Don't invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say.
Let me pause for a minute, because this is where it is crazy to me. My head was spinning. I already had to hear Myron Gaines say all this wild shit about black people. I already had to hear the slurs or the stereotypes. I already had to hear the lies and the disrespect of black people. I already had to watch all of that ridiculousness. But now he's saying, go ahead, use the N-word. Now, I think two things are going on in Piers Morgan's mind right here. Thing number one, I want to see if I can get her to really put a spotlight on her own racist self. I want to show the world how fucked up she is. I think that is on his list. I don't think it's number one on his list, but I think it's on his list. I think number one is if I can get this white woman to say the N-word on national television, international television, the ratings are going to be crazy. Now, I know some of y'all are like, what do you do in that situation? As he's saying it, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't expect that. I already didn't expect to be on with a self-identified white racist. Piers says he didn't know that she was a racist. And I've never been on anything with Myron Gaines, so I didn't expect.
Okay, see this business, you must be following Donald Trump with that, because Donald Trump will say that quite frequently. I don't know. Now, I never met Liddy Gaddis before. Hey there, Hassan. How you doing? Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Welcome in. I've never met Liddy Gaddis personally, but just from what I've seen about her, you don't have to convince me that she's not a racist. Now, Piers, I don't have no staff. Sometimes it's just me and Char up here doing a live. But I know she's a racist. How can you tell these folks, well, I didn't know she was a racist? Yes, you did.
Yeah, interviewed and everything. That was you vet your guests before you get them on the show, so you know what type of direction you're gonna go.
Of course. So you mean to tell me you didn't see the video of Liddy Gaddis that went viral? That you don't know what she's famous for? If you don't know, Piers, I can fill you in right quick. Like, she went famous. She's famous on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube because she says she don't want to deal with no broke ninjas. That's right. I said it, and I meant it.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. A lot of people, you put a mic in front of them, they say a whole lot of stuff, but when they go outside, it's a different type of thing.
I can guarantee you, Char, she wouldn't use that word in front of me. She wouldn't use that word in front of you like that with impunity. You know she wouldn't. Some of these white folks, and again, for those white folks that get mad about what I'm saying, then I'm talking about you, because y'all know damn well that especially me, I've been around you for quite some time now. I pretty much grew up around white folks. You would never walk up to a black person and say that shit to their face and didn't expect some consequences and repercussions shortly. No, that wouldn't happen. But once y'all get in y'all places of comfort, and the internet gives you a little bit more bravado to where nobody can reach through the screen and slap piss out you, you'll say it. And that's what to me, that's what Pierce Morgan's trying to do. He's trying to pull a ratings, whatchamacallit. She actually said the N-word on Pierce Morgan's show, so we'd all be talking about that. Only reason I'm covering this, Pierce, because my man Marc Lamont Hill thought it was important enough for him to say something about it, and I agree with him. Mainstream media is just off the damn chain with this N-word shit. Just let anybody come to the party. I told you, I'll stop letting these folks to the barbecue.
That either, but then it gets stupid, and I had to respond. Here's what I did.
Go on.
No,
hang on.
Don't invite. No. I don't want you to
Pierce, don't tell me to hang on. No, it's your show. I don't care. Not now. Not with this.
invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here.
Now pause again. You see their faces? This loser's smiling and laughing and she's happy as hell, right? Now I know y'all saying I gave them the satisfaction because I got angry. I didn't get angry, by the way. This isn't me angry. Anybody knows me knows I'm not actually angry. I'm being animated because I needed to stress this.
Yeah, one of the things I say, folks don't hear you till you scream at them. You ain't got to be mad to scream. But I bet he got their attention.
Right.
I bet he got their attention. Now, just because you take it as anger, that's on you. But what I did was get your attention. You perceive it as anger, that's on you. That ain't my business. But I bet you can use that N-word on screen or not. I bet you didn't.
That's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. And one Uncle Tom on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to keep cutting y'all. I mean to cut this short right here, but let me go ahead and say this, Marc Lamont Hill. I know you're much more educated than me just because of the different schools that you've attended to and the place that you are. There's no disrespect, no disrespect to you, but sometimes you can actually tell someone that's a little bit more on the high, the educational echelon, not taking anything away from your credentials, but you got to stop calling black turncoats Uncle Tom, brother. They're not Uncle Toms. Call them exactly what they are. Sambos. It don't take much, folks, to go back and find out Uncle Tom was not the villain in that book. Sambo was. It took white America to turn Uncle Tom into a villain, and now we use it as a derogatory term. So don't call anyone that slights your own race an Uncle Tom, because they are not. They are Sambos. He was the one. Massa, look what they doing. He the one be talking about, Massa, we sick, clown and yassin, singing the blues. That's what Sambo do.
While I'm here is ridiculous.
Now, people say you call him an Uncle Tom. I did. I never call people Uncle Toms on TV. I don't believe that because somebody is conservative or because somebody is on the right or because somebody has a different opinion than me, that they are an Uncle Tom or that they're a sellout, even if I don't agree with their politics. This dude, I think, is a sellout and an Uncle Tom because, for one, the entire conversation, he's referring to blacks as those people, you people, them, they. He does not identify as one of us, and he shouldn't. He's not a black American. He is a fake black American. I'm not even making some kind of nativist claim here. This isn't like, you're not black enough to be. No. I'm saying something different. I'm saying that he is Sudanese. He is literally not from America. And if you ask him, even on the show, what he says is, I'm African American. Yeah, he's African American. He says in the true sense. Yeah, he's African American in the way that Elon Musk is African American.
Yes, and that's the thing that I want to address. That's why when people say DJ Music, how do you identify as? And I tell them Black American, because the word African American has been hijacked as well, as you saw by Elon Musk, because he's South African. But now he has a dual citizenship, so to speak, or like Myron Gaines, he's Sudanese. He's not American, but he calls himself African American in the true sense. He actually is. I am a Black American. That's how I separate myself from them sand niggas.
South Africa, and he's American citizenship, I guess, or whatever, right? So this man, whose name is not Myron Gaines, it's Amadou Fadl, is not a Black American, but he pretends to be a Black American so that when he talks shit about Black Americans, and I don't even know if he's American, to be honest, but when he talks shit about them, it looks like it's coming from the inside. And that's why I don't respect it. He is literally a Sudanese immigrant who comes to the United States and pretends to be a Black American and then says, we Black Americans ain't shit. And when he gets really in his bag, he says, those people ain't shit. That's why I call him an Uncle Tom. And even here, you see he's holding up a flag. It got blurred out, but that flag says nigger on it, N-I-G-G-E-R. The flag, he had a nigger flag in the tuck. Nobody who's not an Uncle Tom has a nigger ER flag in the tuck. Just say it.
I'm just saying. Now, only on Pierce show that you can get away with something like that. Where you'll tell me that the powers that be, the networks didn't see that? Instead of taking it down, they told them, well, just blur it out. I guess that's part of the free speech that they're talking about.
Mm.
Absolutely right there, Black Hawk. Again, we're going to get into that and get here in just a little bit. Let this go a little bit farther, and then we'll get into it.
You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do. but we already know she's racist. And I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you.
So I mentioned the Jewish thing. I think that's an important point to make. No one would say, hey, we think you're an anti-Semite. Oh, you are an anti-Semite? Call a Jewish slur. Oh, you're homophobic? Call this gay person next to me a homophobic slur. Oh, whatever the thing is. Like, why would we invite that? And if you would do that, then that's even worse. I don't think they would, but I think there's something about Black people in the N-word that white people still feel some sense of ownership over or desire to have ownership over, where they're like, oh, yeah, you gotta let me have a little access to it. If I can't say it, at least let me get this white woman to say it. She's already said, I use the N-word. She's already said, I'm a racist. Making her say it on national TV does not expose her anymore. It does not out her anymore. All it does is get ratings, and I will not allow myself to be used in that way on this program. I will not allow racial harm to be invited to me for your benefit. That's where I get frustrated, right? Because now all of a sudden, as a Black person, I'm just an object here. I'm just a thing sitting here, and you can just say, oh, call Marc a nigger. I bet you won't. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? Now again, I don't think that was Pierce's intent, but Myron ain't the only ain't up there as representing the victim of niggerdom. These two white women aren't, and the white woman on the right, by the way, was fighting the good fight. She really was. Lily was trash, but the other one was fighting the good fight. In fact, she sent me a wonderful note. Good people. And Pierce ain't Black. So, yeah, you don't get to decide or tell me to hang on. I don't care whose show it is when you're telling somebody to start using language like that.
And I agree with Marc Lamont 100%. Just because I'm on your show, I'm not going to allow somebody to disrespect me. Because when she uses that N-word, she is not talking to Pierce. She's not talking to Myron. She is not talking to her damn self. And she sure ain't talking to that other white lady. Who's she talking to? And what the Mark Hill said, I bet you won't. Bet you wouldn't do that in front of me. Hey, ABT. So thank you for the clip. I told you I would be right on this, and I agree with Marc Lamont Hill 100%. To me, if this was one of them studios that we were sitting around a round table discussion, this would have been a chair raising affair up in here. I couldn't have been in the same room with Lily Gaddis. I couldn't have been in the same room definitely with Myron Gaines. Yeah, I think I would have got him. I would have busted him down to I think I would have busted him upside the head. At least once. Yeah. Go ahead, use it now. Go ahead. I'd pulled up my didn't know Deroy Lindo on them. Go ahead and say it, Marvin. Go ahead. Go ahead. But I bet you won't. Hey, anyway, sure. Chop it up with the folks. Let me go pull up our next clip here right quick, like.
I think if they would have went that far, I would have left. And if I was to return to the show, I would speak very slow and calmly and say, I'm not sure what type of discussions this broadcast is really trying to have, but it was very disrespectful, and I really thought about never returning to the show. I spoke with, whoever, Pierce, and he apologized to me, and I'm going to give it one more time. And if anything else, if I feel like I'm being baited, I will just not be a guest on this show anymore.
Yeah, see, nice folks. I wouldn't have said that. I'd have put them in the back room. Look here, Pierce. Let me tell you, motherfucking ass, something right damn now. Next time you line me up with some rednecks on the show, first ass I'm gonna whoop is yours.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You see, it's like that thing with Sean, let me ask you a question before we go to the next. You've seen the video all over social media where these guys are talking about 100 men can beat up a gorilla.
I have not, but I've seen the word gorilla recently. I didn't know what was going on, but
let me go ahead and tell y'all something right now. There's no way 100 men can beat up a gorilla. Actually, I wish I'd have pulled it up, but I saw this to where someone actually took the AI and asked AI what would happen if 100 men got into a physical altercation. The AI asked all for these different parameters, and one part, as they said, as the fight started commencing, within the first 30 seconds, the gorilla already had dismembered or killed 3 of them in 30 seconds.
Okay.
And in that same 30 seconds, at least 40, 50 of them either froze or ran in terror.
Uh-oh. Well.
Y'all fight that gorilla if you want to.
That's crazy.
Give you another comparison before we move on. Y'all know the damage one 90-pound chimpanzee can do? Go look up in the YouTube annals of folks that had chimpanzees as pets and see what happened to them after a chimpanzee turned into a full adult. You think you're going to mess with a silverback?
Oh, boy. So nobody kept Bubbles.
Right. On the average, they think Michael Jackson got rid of Bubbles because of Bubbles. No, Bubbles got too damn big.
Mm-hmm.
But again, folks, you go ahead for you 100 men. Now, y'all make sure y'all folks got black dressers. You're all tied up, all your wills done. Because some of y'all ain't going to make it. All of y'all that got bravado and run up on the gorilla first, chances are you're not going to make it. Gorilla 450 to 650 pounds. That's all I got to say about that. But anyway, sure. Leading up to this black on white thing, I was listening to Sharon Bracey's panel, the Wildest Wake Up Morning Show, over there last week sometime, and they were talking about pro-black America. Can you be pro-black and anti-American at the same time? And, what you think?
Confused already.
Yeah, because I'm by nature of me born here, I am American. Am I not?
Right.
So I could be pro-black but still be pro-American at the same time. Am I missing something?
It's confusing, but I guess it will get the people going, So.
Yeah, so I was kind of confused about. So I did ask him. I asked him, can I? I didn't. Of course, I didn't grab the whole stream because they talked about it for about 30 minutes or so. We're not going to cover the whole thing. Just going to touch on some high points here. But anyway, folks, let's get to that, and we'll see what these folks have to say about it.
Yeah, he did ask earlier, was somebody pro-black or pro-America? And I wanted to know what he meant by that, because I didn't know I had to choose.
Shout out Bomb Cherry Juice. I know she's been a little bit under the weather here lately. I hope your speedy recovery. System always. I miss you around the live stream there. So get well soon. All right, Mr. Bomb. Take care of the missus.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, I want to address that, and I want to address this. We built shit. I want to get that.
I don't know.
Pro-black is pro-America.
Absolutely. Well, you would think so, but I think
pro-black is pro-America.
Who said that? Now, who said that?
I don't know.
Hold on. I 1000% said that. I stand on that. Now what?
Okay.
Listen, as I heard that, I said to myself, and just I didn't say it out loud, but of course, I may be one being there talking to myself, but as I'm listening, saying, you know, that does make sense. If you're pro-black, you got to be pro-America, especially if you're a Black American. How do you get away from that? A couple folks on the panel agreed right away. I heard Bomb Cherry say she was confused about it, but let's go a little further and see if it's unconfusing here.
Poking out their chest. Now who poking out their chest? Now what?
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Let me and him go. Let me and him go. I got some bacon in it. I got some bacon in the skillet.
Yeah, let me hear this.
Now say
it. Let me hear this.
Calm yourself down. What did you say?
I said go ahead, brother.
Now you said being pro-black is to be American is to be pro-black. Is that what you said?
You want to try that one again and reverse it?
Did you say to be
I said pro-black no, sir. I said pro-black is pro-America.
I'm not pro-American, and I'm black.
Okay, cool.
What that make me? What that
okay, cool. So wait.
What does that make me?
Okay, so when he said that, my answer to him, and I remember distinctly saying this to myself, that would make you basically un-American. If you say you're pro-black, but you're not for America, that would make you un-American. That would make you a black man that was born in America, that you're un-American. Would that not make him that? Something else I can call him?
I think that's what it means, but I don't get what the point is.
I'm trying to. And that's why I asked Sharon, maybe I was missing something. So that's why I asked Sharon, could I record this? And I wanted to go back and listen and see if I missed something here.
I don't know what that makes you, sir. It sounds like you identifying yourself, right? So, but the context is in mass in general, right? So it didn't isolate it specifically for you and me, right? So my statement is at large. If you are black in America and you are pro-black, you are pro-American.
Well, I'm not. I'm not. I'm a veteran of the United States.
Are you here in America?
I'm not.
Wait. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm nigga.
And this was the part that kind of grabbed me back when I could have sworn I heard him say that he was in the military. You can't be no more pro-American than that. Did I miss something?
Pro means for, right? Pro means for, right?
No, I'm not for that.
Wait, I'm asking you, does pro mean for, or advocate for, or in support of, right?
Pro peanuts, pro bananas, pro pickles, pro whatever. If you put PR in front of the word, it is the
dog. Now y'all going to the phallus. I'm okay. You got it, brother.
So
okay, let me ask you. Making me uncomfortable.
This is one of my questions for all the fellas in the YouTube streets. Why every time y'all get into a conversation with another man, why y'all always got to bring up Tallywhacker? What is that? What is that about?
Is that what the term penis measuring contest?
I guess so.
Okay.
I guess so. I don't understand that, but that just came out of nowhere. Y'all went from being pro-black to Tallywhacker measurement. Let's continue.
Based on that, okay, so you're pro-black. What does it mean to be black? What is the very classic definition of a black American. Generally speaking. Broadly speaking.
Wait, what are you saying?
What does it mean genetically or
Well, I don't know why there's such a hard answer for him to answer. It's like, what did he say? What does it mean to be black in America? Okay, I'm black by nature of my ethnicity, and I was born in America. So by nature of the land that I was born on, I am an American. It's simple answer. Don't you think so, Short?
If that's the definition, I don't know what's going on here.
I'm confused. Are you?
in a anthropological mitochondrial 6-strand DNA.
You said mitochondria.
What does it mean? What is it in your individual who can trace their root?
Okay, and this is when I thought to myself here, Char. I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna ask Sharon, can I record this?" Because when I heard this dumb ass want to sound like he intelligent, loose nigga use the word mitochondrial, that told me he had no idea what he was talking about. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If I don't know what I'm talking about, y'all welcome to correct me. But I thought mitochondrial DNA is meaning the DNA that we get from our mothers. That is, it can be tracked. That it can be everyone. If someone was looking for you, they could get DNA from your mama and figure out who you are. Am I wrong with that, Sean?
Looking it up, it seems that way. Powerhouse of cells. Yeah, I think that's yes, from the woman.
Yes, from the woman. So how did he inject that into the conversation?
I don't know. Maybe just learn how to pronounce it.
It automatically reminded me of an episode of In Living Color where the guy was behind the bars and the constipation. I mean the excuse me.
It's back to the soil. Yes. Okay. No, I'm black no matter where I'm at on this planet. Because mitochondrial DNA, which gives the molecules to produce.
Man, brother, come on.
No, you don't have to agree with it, brother. Oh my God. You don't have to
wait. We're talking about black and we're talking about America. Can we keep it right there, sir? You seem to have contention with me saying being black in America. So I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go on mute, and I'm gonna let you cook, right? No. Okay. I'm gonna let you have it completely, sir. I promise you. I'm gonna say this. My ancestors died for this shit, right? So I am 1,000% pro-black. Listen.
Okay.
Listen, yes. I'm gonna let you have it. I promise. So I am 1,000% pro-black, and I'm in America. Haven't left yet. I don't agree with everything that's why I fight against what I don't agree with, right? But I'm in the
you agree with me then. So you agree with me, right?
Yeah, I didn't disagree. Y'all poked out y'all chest when I said that.
No.
Her chest was already poked out.
KT said it. So my apologies to you. So I thought that was KT talking, but now I know who I'm talking to. But at the same time, you can go ahead and ride with that, brother. If you that, then go ahead.
So now I'm not saying that I'm not pro-black, because I am, and I'm not saying that I'm not pro-America, because I am at this point, but that can change at any time. So to be pro-black does not equate to be pro-America, because I'm saying when America makes some changes or start doing some shit that I don't like, then I'm gonna stand up against that, right? So just because I'm pro-black does not equate that I'm pro-America, and just because I'm pro-America don't mean that people are pro-black just because they're pro-America. We do understand that. So I get where some of you are relating your blackness to America because what your ancestors did, right? What our ancestors did, but what happened to our ancestors, and do we want to be back in that position? So you may have to make some choices due to the administration that we have in office right now.
Yeah, I agree with what she just, I just agree with what she said and the premise of what she said, but I don't agree with the context of how she came about to her answer. No disrespect when I say this, Bomb. To me, you can't be you can't be born in this country and be anti-American and be pro-black at the same time, just by the nature that we live here. Now, as Black Hawk said, can America itself be anti-black? We've seen that it is. We actually absolutely seen that this country is anti-black. The history speaks for itself. But we, as far as black folks, no, we're not anti-America. We are anti the policies of the American government. That's what we are anti. That is fair assumption, fair assessment, sure.
Yeah, and I think that's what she meant.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, oh, I get you, because it
Yeah.
is changing, so I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what she meant as well. Again, because there were some folks that were saying that she was double talking, but I think she's just kind of in a roundabout way was saying the same thing. It is what it is, folks. The country is changing, and if you continue to let it stay the way it is, we'll be back into the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 50s and the 40s. We'll get back to that according to this Trump regime. I think that's what Baum was trying to relay there. But let's continue.
I don't think
I don't want to contest what anybody's
I
saying.
have something to say about that.
Yes, I'm not pro-black.
America has been the same, right? America has been the same this whole time. So no matter the argument right now,
America's an idea.
on
It's an
this
experience.
picture, it has been this way. No matter who's in the office right now, it didn't get here just because Trump stepped in a few names ago, a couple rather.
But no, it hasn't been this
always
way.
been. Listen, the black person has always been going through this crap, quote unquote black
That's right.
person, because this is good for the people that consider themselves black, right, or African American or whatever, right, the Negro, colored, whatever, right, those people. Right. So we're not going to act like this is brand new. And that's what I'm saying. The bigger picture is it's always been like that. It doesn't matter that Trump is in office right now. Maybe
It has not been the same.
You ignore that.
No, I'm ignoring it because it's not true. Right? Where we are today
is not true.
You are saying that nothing has changed since because he's in office, and I'm saying, and we all are essentially saying, just due to what he's been doing since he's been in office, that yes, we are in new territory. This man has made it to where he could use the military against U.S. citizens on this.
Okay, but I just said that earlier to you. I mentioned that way earlier before any of these guys came up here, and not like I was saying something wrong.
No,
right?
we agreed with
I said that earlier, but hold on, wait. What I'm telling
Again, the thing that I noticed on Sharon panels, it is that sometimes folks, if we just pause and listen to what the other person is saying, because I noticed as one of the ladies was talking, I'm not sure, I think they call her Happy on the panel. But I noticed as she was talking, just about the whole time she was talking, there was some dude in the background speaking over her or speaking at the same time she was. So it was kind of hard for her to understand, for Bomb to, and I'm not making excuses, but y'all both ladies were saying the same thing. You said it differently, Bomb, she said it differently. But to me, I've been around a little bit longer than both of y'all, I think. Ain't shit changed. It's still the same. The only difference in the Klan of the 60s and the 70s, well, I will say some things have changed. They don't wear hoods no more. We can go to restaurants, but would you want to go to a restaurant to where they can tell you, I don't want black people in there? Would you frequent that restaurant? I know I would.
No.
I know I would. If I saw a sign that says blacks unwanted here, you ain't even got to tell me. More than one way to skin a cat. But again, I think both the ladies were saying the same thing. But the premise of this was this, and we'll get to this in just a minute, and that's gonna tie into our final thing of the night. But let's continue here.
telling you is, I'm not saying this isn't the worst, but the reason why I had to break in and say something, the reason why I wanted to say something about him was because you were just speaking, right, before I jumped in, and you said you're not going back. But I don't know, which I don't realize, we are going back. That's it. Like, it's not getting better. You know what I mean? That's my whole point.
Okay, I thought you were saying
Hey,
that.
happy.
I thought you were saying that it's not changed.
Okay.
And what I'm saying, yeah, things are changing. It could be a lot worse. Like, it can literally be worse. Because when they start getting rid of immigrants, when they need the food picked off them farms and things, who you think they're going to want to do that? When he said make America great again, back to when they had free labor, who you think he's referencing? We really got to think this through. I know it's hard to think how Trump is thinking, because he's really, kind of like KT, stupid as fuck. But what I'm saying is,
and speaking of Trump, and I use Bounce word stupid as fuck. Y'all go look up and ask Trump what the Declaration of Independence is. He could not tell you. He didn't know. He did not know. He literally did not know that the Declaration of Independence was. He had no idea. And as usual, he stumbled and mumbled his way through it with a bunch of incoherent babbling, psycho babbling. And the reporter let him get away with it. You mean to tell me, as the president of the United States, you don't know that's what this nation was founded on? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Damn, and you the president of the United States?
I guess that didn't mean anything to him, since he don't agree with it. So,
I'm a black man, and even in that, what some call that says I'm only 3/5 of a man, but I know that at least the 3/5 of me caught that.
Is what I'm saying is we got to try to think what he's thinking, because he never puts it out there. Nobody knows who is going to go on those farms and pick up the food. You think these people going to farm again? These white people going to farm again?
That's a great point.
Absolutely is.
And I don't know why we putting our feelings over what is needed to be done. That's the scary part to me. Anybody that agrees with, are they illegal, that they should just call them a gang member, and then now you could just pick them out, you could just lock them up. You do understand that MS-13 is considered a gang, and also Bloods, also Crips, and you know who's the majority people that is Bloods and Crip, right?
Do I need to answer that? Who those I think the rolling 60s, what do you call them, the vice lords, the GDs? Those are the folks that Trump's is targeted after he's finished with MS-13. And guess what? It's quite easy to identify y'all fellas. Y'all tatted up. Y'all tatted up. You're wearing baseball caps that says Oakland Raiders. That's anonymous, but who? Attitude. I think everybody went out for a minute. Am I back, Char?
Yep, I hear you.
Yep. The black Oakland Raiders cap. Who's that synonymous with? Nigga, with attitude. They ain't me. Trump already told y'all what he's gonna do. Mom Jerry, actually, this was kind of like 2 weeks ago, somewhere around there, maybe last week sometime. And sure enough, there's some other folks that Trump.
Uh-oh. You cut out. You said Trump said, and that was it. Oh, that's because you dropped. So I guess you're not saying anything. All right, folks. While we're waiting for Mr. DJ Music to return, I don't get what the argument is when it comes down to a lot of this talk anyway. Some of these conversations has been had, flipped over, run amok. I mean, it's what's left to talk about. Just a repeat of the same thing over and over again. So it doesn't take long for me to start tuning out. I'm like, what's your point? Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. And then I'm gone. I just will be sitting there on the panel. That's it. But I wouldn't be participating because I'd zone out. I'm like, a lot of stuff, just too much. If you get to a point, if you have a point, I like that. But if you don't have a point to anything, you just want to go back and forth on nothing, then I'm not interested. I've just kind of always been that way. Yeah. All right, and you're back.
All right, I think I'm back there, folks. Again, I do apologize, but it's pretty stormy weather out here, so it's going to be raining today and going to be raining tomorrow. But let me, Shark, go ahead and entertain the folks, and let me go grab this clip again, and we'll push it up to where the main point of what I want to talk about here. We'll get to it.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying for me, a lot of stuff is just repetitive. It's just been remixed, extended play, and remixed a second time, and it's just the same thing over and over again. You got to have some point, and then but I do respect the fact that the word solutions has been out the name of the channel, because when I was first introduced to the channel, the solution part just wasn't there. So now let it just be a wild show. Hey, he got that.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. That was the contention to a lot of folks, saying it was solution based. But again, no disrespect to the host or the folks that's there, but there was not too much solutions going on. The show itself is quite entertaining. I watch it and I support the show. So if I don't like something, I'm not watching it.
Yeah,
That's just
so
bottom
hey,
line. That's my
wild
mindset.
show. Let it be
Right.
wild.
Let it be wild. That's why they call it the Wildest Wake Up Morning Show. All right. But let's get back to this clip here, folks. Let me drop this in and let me slide on up here to what I want to get to. And that's going to introduce us into our last clip here.
Okay.
Somebody pro-black or pro-America, and I wanted to know what he meant by that, because I didn't know I had to choose,
Yeah, I want to address that, and I want to
Rolling 60s.
Cat dog. Yep. So what about the Pittsburgh Steelers? What the Pittsburgh Steelers had represent?
All right, we could go New York.
Right. Again, folks, all you folks that's running around with the red flags and the Oakland Raiders cap and the Chicago Bulls cap and all that, all those are ready, according to the Trump regime, those are gang-affiliated signals and signs. Y'all niggas better stop wearing them caps. Better go buy you some with no. Better stop wearing those fitted caps and those snapbacks with all this gang paraphernalia on it, as they call it, because they're coming to swoop you up, and they might send you to Libya. Ask Stephen Baker. That's what he says he want to do with you. After we target the MS-13 gangs, after we rid our streets, Trump said it himself. The black folks are asking us to come in and save their streets. They're tired of being robbed. They're tired of being. When's the last time one of y'all got this? They're now saying this crime. Is there crime? Of course it is. But when's the last time one of us walked outside our house and got busted upside the head?
No, it's not like that.
Right. But that's the picture that they're trying to paint, folks. The crime in the inner city and crime is black folks is just running rampant. And if we don't do something about it, martial law is coming, folks. Be careful.
Yankees hat. That represents that's neighborhood.
So they're gonna have ice at the Super Bowl at halftime before they have to play.
Like the Chicago Bulls hat on MS-13.
According to
there were too many migrations and wars and conquerings that happened before anybody was documenting anything to be able to verify who was the original inhabitants. Indigenous means that you were there before the place was conquered and or colonized. And
that means I'm a real American then.
And black people are indigenous as well, right? There were black people here before the Europeans. If you read the Europeans' writings on what they saw when they came here,
Now, a lot of folks don't like the young lady that's speaking. I don't know why they don't like her. Maybe they say she's brash, or maybe they say she's outspoken. But she's normally on point, and she's absolutely right by saying this, folks. We are indigenous to this country, regardless of whether folks want to believe that or not. We weren't the original black folks did not come here on slave ships. We're here long before that. We were in this all kinds of things all over this world here that tells you that we as black people ventured out of Africa long before they came and stole us. It's so it is written, so it is said. Folks will tell you that the Wright brothers invented flight. They were the first one to fly. Well, explain why they found gliders in the pyramids. What was they doing there? Anybody got a question? Anybody got a reason why a glider would be in a pyramid if they weren't flying them?
Specifically talk about seeing black people. And even recently, the government of Mexico put out a proclamation where they acknowledged that black people were here. Right? And so that whole is this country built on immigration is a crock of bull. It do not equate me and my ancestors' experience and the work that they did with some people who came here trying to come up. Because that's not what it
were
was.
your people not slaves? Like, didn't your people start over here? Like I'm not saying it's not exceptions to the rule, but let's be very honest. Most black Americans, African Americans of African descent, they know that because they brought us here.
No, that's the thing. Very few of the people who were transported in the transatlantic slave trade came to the United States. And so this is the thing. We need a better education system.
And that there's the thing. This is the thing. They will tell PhD, but that she's wrong on so many different levels. And again, the worst thing I can say about any color of man, whether you're black or white, the worst thing that they cannot stand is an educated black woman. That's their kryptonite. They hate that. And she's absolutely right. And it doesn't take much to figure out that she's right. But this all gonna lead up into what I'm saying. We'll get to it. Oh, 1 second here.
Right, only about 5 to 8% of I think they said it was 2 million people came to what is now the United States, and unlike in most other places where the institution of slavery was being practiced, where they would import people from Africa, work a little hard for about 20 years, and then they died off, and so they kept importing them. That's not what was going on in the United States. The United States prioritized breeding of enslaved people, right? And so importing new people wasn't the primary thing that was going on in America, right? And that's why enslaved people.
Okay, hold on. So do we ignore that we 15 million?
Okay, folks. So as you can hear right now, this is why I stopped it here, because I didn't want to get any more into the ramblings that was going on of them trying to prove this woman incorrect. I didn't want to hear anymore. Which brings me to our final thing of the night here. Too many times, we as our own black people will try and instead of saying you were right about something, y'all will go through hoops. Y'all will jump through hoops and pillars and run through hell and gasoline draws just to prove somebody wrong. Even so much so, you will slap another sister, or you will kick another brother in the teeth with no regret, just to say the white man's ice is colder. Although everything I showed you up to now says that the white man's ice isn't colder. Says that there's some white folks out there that do not like us for whatever reason. They don't like our children. They don't like us. Everything that I've pointed up to now should tell some of you folks this is going to be the norm. But instead, You got people that will come up here and tell PH Diva, that will tell Sharon Bracey, that will tell me, or tell anybody with some common sense that Donald Trump is the best thing for the United States of America. Sure, educate the folks for a minute, and let me go grab this last clip.
All right. I'm kind of interested in what this last clip would be, I must say. I think you saved the best for last, as they say. I'm all right with that. I wonder what channel the Pierre Morgan is on. I don't even know. I think he used to be on a network, and then there was a lot of cuts, and then people went their own separate ways. So I don't even know. In the YouTube streets, the website, I don't know. Anybody knows?
I think he's on one of those BBC One networks over there. I don't think the only way he'll get back on American TV is probably through guest appearance. I don't think he'll ever hold the show back on American platforms again, because some of the vile stuff that he said, anti-Semitic, anti-black, anti-Trump, anti-Biden, anti-everything.
Okay.
Yeah. But Char, you sent me this last clip. Now you remember the clip that you sent me last week? I said I think I'm gonna talk about this, Char.
Okay.
Yeah, what was the lady's name? You remember her name?
Miss Ericka Williams.
Ericka Williams. And how did you describe her to me?
She is a professional, and I love the style that she understands that to get the Negro attention, you got to give them a little manosphere history, a little something here and there, and then throw in the education part, then they'll listen to you. It's a darn shame, but hey,
right.
It is what it is.
Right. Now, when you say professional, meaning she's professional at a YouTube, or she's actually a professional in some type of business?
Oh, she's a professional in some type of business. When I first was introduced to her through BGS, he had told me if I wanted to, learn more about different things, to subscribe to her channel back in 2017. And at that time, she was in trucking. And then after that business, things started changing. She got out of trucking, went into real estate and certifications and all kind of other stuff. And the woman she has a lot of knowledge and introduced you to a lot of professional people. Love it.
Right. So on the contrast of what we talked about last week, the guy that we talked about last week, there was no physical information that we could find on him other than his YouTube channel.
I would say yes.
So I said I wasn't going to mention his name, so I'm not. But if the person that we talked about last week and the person that we're going to talk about this week, if you had to go and find somebody that you want to do some business with, which one would it be? This week or last week?
This week.
Okay. Well, here's Ericka Williams, folks. I went in and grabbed some clips on her channel. Again, Char, I did look into her. I read some of her clips. I find the woman to be quite educated, quite successful, quite knowledgeable. And more importantly, she's willing to share that information at some point in time. Although she knows she has a business, she's willing to get you interested by getting to know her and by giving you some things for free.
Yep. Sure enough.
Okay. So let's listen to what she has to say. So this is why I took her seriously. Now this is all going to lead up to what you heard. On every clip that we've heard so far, folks, there's been some kind of chaos, especially when it comes to the YouTube streets. The men arguing with the women not sure of what the men are talking about. The men trying to convince the women that they don't know what they're talking about. The sisters arguing with their sisters. Let's listen to Ericka for a second.
From the Classic Line blog, I want to say God bless America when I'm standing beside the American flag. And I just want you guys to thank you so much for all your well wishes on I'm telling my birthdays, passings of my family, this channel, buildings, new construction, old construction, rentals. Listen, the best is yet to come. Thank you so much for the 10 years on this channel.
And this is a woman, she ain't mentioned shit about makeup yet. I'm just saying.
And I just want to thank you for all the things that you guys have contributed to my life and that I contribute to yours. And so listen, I hope this year can be even better, and I hope you grab the book, All Roads Lead to Real Estate. We're talking about digital real estate, online to the real dirt in your hand, and we will have lots of good in that book to help you navigate. How can you grow in this economy and also grow and play Monopoly in real life for you and your family?
Okay, for all of you that went out and purchased that hot copy of the Angry Man Standards, y'all get any of this information?
For that price, I don't think too many people purchased it. Just saying, I don't think so. Word on the street
Again,
anyway.
Again, one of the monikers of those folks, they always say, "Show your work." Well, she is showing you her work, folks. In 30 seconds, I learned more about her, and I got to say his name this time, short. In 30 seconds, I learned more about her than I learned in Anton Daniels. And this entire time, I've been researching this nigga.
And she outside with people, not just holding a cell phone up to herself, right?
Now, again, this man that I won't mention his name on, but said he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. But I've been tracking him since I told you I would. I've been watching him, see how often he goes live, how long did he stay live. Nigga, you ain't got nothing to do. Really. You doing a 2-hour stream here. The latest gossip pop up. You pop up on the screen here. But you're a millionaire. You're a hard-working individual that's got all kind of shit. Let Ericka show you how it's done.
Guys, this doesn't have to be the worst time in our economy. It can be one of the best if you make a decision and move forward in your life. This is your girl, Ericka. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Ericka from the Classic Climb blog. I'm actually on my way to the airport. I got plenty of time. This is the one time I'm going almost 2 hours early. I never go 2 hours. It's actually 3 hours early. I'm like, I got some time. So I said, let me pull over. Let me just say what I got to say right now. Let me just go ahead, because I know how y'all are. In the community page, if you haven't seen the community page has a picture of Chris Carter and Shador Sanders. Now, for the life of me, I know y'all know these people on these platforms are willing to say and do anything. Michael Parsons comes to my mind, okay? They're willing to do and say anything to be on TV. If somebody say, hey, man, you need to run and go tell these people this, they're going to do it. The only people that really have a power to say, I don't have to exactly do what you say, is Shaq, Charles Barkley, and some of that crew that sit on the table with them.
And you can't argue with that. But this is all coming down to what she's saying is, folks, she's talking about a bigger picture. She's talking about the Chris Carters of the world. I'm talking about the guy that I covered last week. I'm talking about the Angry Mans. I'm talking about the BGSs. These are the folks that y'all prop up on these YouTube streets. And I don't know why, and Ericka don't know why. So maybe y'all don't want to answer me. So maybe coming from a bigger content creator, maybe somebody that it actually showed you their work, that actually you can go and physically do follow her works and physically have a come up. Not a guy sitting on a blog stream trying to tell you how good he is, and the first thing you see about him is his makeup routine or his skincare routine. I'm just saying, folks. Come on, Ericka, finish him.
Because they have overinvested. I'm talking about in the billionaire status. They on their way to billionaire status. Not Charles Barkley, but definitely Shaq. So they don't have to bend as much as a person like a Chris Carter. Now you're going to say, Ericka, you called the man a crackhead. That's damn skippy. He did crack in college. He did crack in the NFL. That's multiple years of crack. That's a long enough time period to call somebody a crackhead. But see, let y'all tell it. That's a bad take, Ericka. And let me be very clear. I don't care that y'all disagree with me. I like when y'all disagree with me because you.
And that's right, Ericka. I don't care if y'all disagree with anymore. You can throw this at me, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and if I'm right, I'm right. So far, tell me where I'm wrong at. Tell me BGS is somebody that y'all should be listening to. Tell me Angry Man is somebody that you should listen to. Tell me Anton Daniels is somebody that's gonna put you in the guise of financial freedom. Tell me that. Tell me Myron Gaines is somebody that you women should have set up over there in that Fresh and Fit podcast. Tell me Obsidian is somebody that y'all should have thrown your whole whatchamacallit. Tell me Jay Prince is somebody that you folks should, you ladies and you gentlemen should have been over there supporting. Because she's talking about the Chris Carters of the world, but we don't deal with the Chris Carters of the world. We talk about the Chris Carters of the world, but we do deal with the Jay Princes and the Angry Mans. And it's the same exact thing. These folks don't give a fuck what they say, how they say, and why they say, as long as you hit that super chat. Angry Man is, to me, is absolutely the epitome of a struggle bandit, as Cynthia G said. You can look at his history. I've chronicled his history enough to show you that there's absolutely no this guy that says he has over 750,000 subs. And his biggest accomplishment so far was a 2-minute guest appearance on Fox Soul.
Well, it's the night version, so does that really count? I'm just saying.
No, that don't count. That don't count either. BGS told you guys that Just Pearly Things was going to take the manosphere to the next level. And when she got tired of wiping her ass with you useless niggas, she shit on you. And from Nick Fuentes. And then when somebody of not just, I don't have a big platform, and somebody says something about it, it just goes by the wayside. But here's somebody with a huge platform that's basically mimicking. She's saying it softer, but she's mimicking the very same words that I say all the time.
You shouldn't agree with everything I say. You shouldn't agree with everything your mama say, your daddy say, your cousin say. You shouldn't agree with anything anybody says. I'm willing to take the smoke every time I come on here and talk from the position of a privileged kid, a kid with family with land. All my family have houses, have their own houses. All my nephews have work independently, work within family businesses. So I can come on here and say whatever I want because it doesn't affect my family, because they're all accredited, licensed people who make their own money and got their own.
And the thing about that is, folks, if you go to her channel, and I'm sure Char put it up in there, and of course the link is in the description. You can go visit her channel. What she's saying is actual and factual, because you can literally go through different parts of her channel and see her interacting in her business, interacting with her family. Am I correct, Char?
Yes, it's there. Even the streams that she do. Sometimes she was in her office. A lot of times.
Okay. Can we get that guy we was talking about last week?
No.
Okay.
Own houses and got their own land. And that's the position I talk from when I come on this channel. I'm not a black person that's got to come out here and beg and please, brother, please work with me. Please like me. Lord, like me. Lord, please. Like, I don't have to do any of that. I can just go, cool, wash my hands up and keep it pushing. I don't have to do that. So I get it. But y'all have to understand, y'all have to recognize a man in his 50s. I'm not calling him washed up or anything like that. That's not at all what I'm saying. He got the alcohol eyes, because he do. He got them very yellow jaundiced alcohol eyes like some of them Dallas football players. Okay.
Now, again, I'll take this back into the YouTube streets. Again, she's talking about Chris Carter. So I'm going to break it down to the YouTube streets for you. There's no reason in hell a man in his 60s, that's damn near 65, 66 years old, should be running around here telling y'all that the Moynihan report is the reason why black men got kicked out their house. But y'all listen to that guy, and y'all will defend that guy. There's absolutely no reason that you guys should listen to the ramblings of a man that'll tell you a black woman does not smell the same as a Latina woman. As a matter of fact, like Latina women smell better. But I see y'all black women over there in drones. Myron Gaines will call y'all everything except a child of God. But y'all break your neck to get on Fresh and Fit. Jay Prince called y'all every name in the book. But I still see some of y'all women over there supporting Jay Prince. I don't know what this chick Flora was thinking about when she decided to give up her entire life to go live with that ain't shit nigga. But you did. Simply because you thought, just like what she was explaining, somebody was going to pay a little bit more attention to you if you hung around the angry man, if you hung around BGS, if you hung around Obsidian. Y'all notice one name I conveniently left out of all of this? O'Shea Dukes Jackson. Because he's not a part of this bullshit. He might have been at one time or the other. But he ain't now. He does the celebrity.
What's good, everyone?
I don't know if CTE or what it is, but this man is in his 50s. He ain't about to go start no podcast like Shannon Sharp and go make no money. He not about to go independent. He's gonna, and let's be honest, let's go have a moment here. These football players, they be dying early. This man in his 50s, he might have another 10 years. God willing, he got 20, 30. Who knows? It's the Lord's timing. But he might only have 10 more years. And so all he want to do is be paid to show.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to bring it back down to the YouTube streets. What happened to Kevin Samuels? What happened to Roger? What's his name? ARC, isn't it? They bring him up. We'll talk about him a little bit later on, Sharp, behind the scenes. I don't know too much about him. But we hear a lot of these guys that be lambasting y'all women's, and they end up in an early demise. Karma's a motherfucker, ain't it?
David Carroll.
David Carroll. It's another one. The list goes on. I know at least in the last 3 to 4 years, there's been some so-called, what's his name? Sinful to P. Gone. What was his claim to fame?
Show up, put the makeup on his face, and say whatever y'all tell him to say. All he want to do is put the microphone in his hand and show up at the football games.
All Anton want to do is put the makeup on his face, put the microphone in his hand. He'll say any damn thing y'all want him to say. I didn't say that. That's her. Listen, this is the parallel. I'm sure I didn't know of this. I've heard of her. I've never watched her content until you sent me this link. And after I watched it, I said, "What did I tell you? I gotta speak on this, Shark, because she 100%."
Show up at the Super Bowl. Show up at these games. That's all he wants, to have relevance, to say something. If somebody hop up in his ear and say, hey, Chris, go say Shador Sanders was a piece of shit. Go say it right now. 90% of society is like, yeah, this seems kind of weird. This kid has the #1 selling jersey. This kid does have talent. We taking broke down, run down quarterbacks that are older than this kid by 3 years before this kid. Now say what you want.
And I'll say this. We heard these same loose niggas, thank you there, the loose niggas in the loose nigga brigade there, Zahara, that was saying that Shador Sanders was too brash, that Deion Sanders was too brash, that the NFL taught them a lesson, that these niggas should have known how to stay in their place. That if he had just said, Chris Carter saying this now, I've always known Chris Carter to be a yes boss anyway. But these were the same sentiments that we heard in the YouTube streets. The very same words that Chris Carter was saying that was already echoed. These sentiments were echoed in the YouTube streets. And this is the point that I'm saying. Too many times, folks, we prop up these loose niggas thinking they got our best interests at heart. Literally, they shit on y'all folks every chance you get, but you still support them.
Football is always supposed to be about talent, but you saw how white people and black people, to my disgust, were like, look how humble can.
What talent does Angry Man have, folks? Can anybody type in the chat room Angry Man's talent? Anybody? I'll wait.
Ain't nobody got that much time. So
Ain't
go
right.
ahead.
I ain't got
Go
that much time because I'm all right. What is his talent other than yapping, other than talking?
Cam Ward is not from a wealthy family. He is just trying to get in the door. So yeah, I'm gonna just come in there with my white tee, my little chain. I'm from Florida. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the job. Okay. Some of the men are like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's the opportunity of a lifetime. I can take care of my mama. Your mama in her 40s and don't know how to take care of herself.
Say what?
Get the fuck out of here, man. If your mom and them are in their 40s and 50s and still haven't figured out a career outside of her son making it, if you're not even talking about the hundreds of kids, thousands of kids who played football this senior year, did not make it, and now are what? They mama still got to get up and go to work every day this week. That's the stuff y'all don't want to talk about. Every day, these black mamas who done had these big ass their own houses and got their own land.
Excuse me.
In the interview, because she messed up some of his clothes, ironed them or burned them one day. Okay, and then on top of that, he cheating for 32 years. AIDS is out here. STDs are out here. Knock it off. That we are at a pyramid in society where low value people are like, oh, I'm just married. Thank God I got a job and I'm married. I'm doing so good in life because I got some merits and I have a job. What? The Lord ain't put you here for this foolishness.
Sure did.
He didn't birth you into this earth for this foolishness. Y'all want to be a part of that foolishness. 80-20. 80% of y'all are going to get up, work a 9-to-5 job, be quiet. Your wife, a little plumpy, she ain't slim. It's okay. She working on it. And you're going to have kids and they ain't going to be athletic. They going to
What's up there, HT Baldwin? What she means by that 80-20, so let me hit you back to the YouTube streets. That 80-20, 80% of you niggas sit in these chat rooms night after night. 80% of you niggas sit in this chat room night after night talking about how high praising these folks about the best thing that they live in this high life that you wish that you could live it. I could not imagine. Y'all could not imagine some of the contents and the comments that I've seen in BGS channel and the Rogers Report channel, Hitman's channel, of how they high praise. I don't get it. I think I might have went out. Did y'all hear that last part? Did y'all hear the shitting on him?
Didn't hear that last sentence, but you're back.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I was saying, just think about this. Literally, you have folks that really have no content. Literally. I'm not saying I'm the greatest content creator in the world, and I'm not set out there. I never will call myself a content creator. Listen, YouTube said long enough, hey, if you do this long enough, and if you do the right thing, I'll kick you down a few dollars, but you got to make a certain amount before I give you that money. But in the meantime, you're a business partner of mine. If you make your money, you make your money. But some of these folks, they live off your money, folks. They're not making that YouTube money. I can tell you, I'm a prime example of this. I can guarantee you right now, if I did a live stream every day, I would not make the kind of money and have the kind of women that these niggas say they got behind the scenes. Them got drive big fancy cars. They got 7-figure bank accounts. They got a woman that with the hourglass figure. They got a washboard stomach. And when you see them in real life, when they get to that manosphere manclaves, they look like Humpty Dumpty done sat on the wall, and Humpty Dumpty look like they got on their little brother's clothes. Look like they've been shopping at Little Macy's. And I call that the Salvation Army. And these niggas got the nerve to call anybody ugly, fat, unattractive. Have y'all taken a look in the mirror before you walk to that manosphere conclave?
They said they high value, so you cut that out.
High value what?
Oh, that's what they said, so you cut that out.
Shit, if that's high value, I don't know what stratosphere I'm living in. I saw your boy. I saw the king of your castle, Obsidian, leaning on a fucking cane, trying to tell y'all he the epitome of health. The fuck?
Hey, what can you say? You know, you can be anything on YouTube.
Anything. Yeah, I used to. There's a thing, and it was an old show back in the day, the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Anything you can be in the world of your imagination. Some of y'all old niggas took that shit too far. I got to pull out a Big J quote right there. Some of y'all old niggas took that shit too far.
Your genes, and they're gonna go get jobs too. And there's nothing wrong with that. The other 20% that we are talking to in society, when we do these videos, when we do these ways to get around something, when we do these ways of how to get credit cards, how to do a side hustle, how to do this, is people who they're bucking the system. They know they're not going to fit in the square peg of the system of, I'm so excited for this job. I'll go to hundreds of job interviews. I remember seeing the black man online crying because I finally got a job after 7 years. What the hell you been doing for 7 years? Brother, if you got stuff on your record, you needed to go get a trade instead of trying to work at Chili's for the past 7 years.
Y'all heard? Now, I'm taking it back to the YouTube streets. I told you I was. Jay Prince was running around bragging. Folks was congratulating him, a 40-something-year-old man, because he got a job at McDonald's. And folks got mad at me when I said, that ain't nothing to be proud of, nigga. You got a food truck, so you say you've been working on that. How long now? How long has Jay Prince been working on that food truck, y'all? Y'all didn't know I was going to sneak in the loose nigga roundup at the end, did you?
You say the best for last.
How long has Jay Prince been working on the food truck, folks? How many super chats have y'all given Jay Prince to say, hey, here's some money to go get you some new tires or to get this or to get that? And he still ain't got it. But yet y'all congratulated that nigga for getting a job at McDonald's that he held for a whole month. But the week prior to him working at McDonald's, guess what? He had a whole 2-hour seminar on how he was going to get money out the government, how Uncle Sam was going to be paying him for the next 10 years. Swindler, the stories are the same. Let me read this. I will say, Anton did a show what he had made on YouTube a couple of times. I said he spewed one 53,000 and another part 56,000. Well, listen, I'm not saying that Anton is broke. I'll just say it flat out. HT Baldwin, the nigga don't know what he's talking about. The advice that Anton give you, I could give you, and I'm sure you probably could too. I'm sure Shark probably could too, and that's not taking anything away from us. The advice Anton Daniels gives you about the stock market and all that, it is trivial. It is easy to find. Folks been asking me for years, if you're in the stock market, what would you invest me to look at? I think the young lady is Cola. She's asked me that question a couple of times, and I've told her about this site that I've been on probably since its inception called Investopedia, where they give you $10,000. You can trade in real stock, real-time stock. If you see that stock doing good, then you can get your money, your real money, and go buy that stock and track it in the game. I took that $10,000 and I have turned that $10,000. I wish I had that kind of money. But game-wise, I'm a rich motherfucker.
Years. Instead of trying to get low leverage crap for the past 7 years. You needed to go get a welding trade, go get a plumbing trade, and you'd have been booked and busy and making $200,000 a year for the rest of your life, brother. That's the conversation y'all don't want to have. Y'all want to sit here and poke shots and say, well, they're single moms, I'm not going to listen to them. But you're going to listen to a crackhead? Man, y'all better get the hell out of here.
Okay, you're going to listen to a crackhead? Y'all going to listen to Jay Prince? You're going to listen to Anton? You're going to listen to Obsidian? You're going to listen to Angry Man? You're going to listen to BGS? When how many times we have proved these loose niggas wrong? Me and Big J have had our differences, but he have shown y'all enough of BGS to say, you know what, that man don't know what the hell he talking about. Don't have any idea of what he's talking about. But yet, I looked at Anton's stream today. There was about 2,700 people in there. P.T. Barnum said it best. Suckers born every minute.
Listen to pimps, cheaters, and crackheads. Okay, I got it. Okay, I see. Not 2-parent home kids, not people who have businesses, not people who've been making $300,000 for the past 12 years of their life and more, not people who've been doing well, not people who actually have authority and guidance. Y'all want the crackhead. Okay, got it. Crackhead with the alcohol eyes. Cool. I heard. My bad. Excuse me. I apologize. I'm wrong. I thought the black community had moved forward. My bad.
Ooh, so did I. But we can see when the black community does move forward, we have people that will shit on you. I'm going to give a prime example. I was on the young man, Alexander Brandon's channel the other night. I'm not sure the young lady I was talking about. I forgot her name, but we were talking about the young lady in particular. Char, I don't know if you know her. Have you heard the young lady named Cooking with Kaya?
Yes, I heard of that.
What did they do to that young lady?
I know they talked about her, and I haven't heard much since. I think the women were talking about it, I think.
The sisters, they went and dug into her past, and they found out some unflattering things about her simply because she would say, I'll cook for your man. Now, I live in South Carolina. I don't know what state Cooking with Kaya live in, but
uh-oh.
She can't cook shit for me over the internet, can she?
No.
So I gotta ask the sisters, what did y'all get upset about?
Wow, it's really taking it personal.
Right. Joe, I'm gonna use this example here. You and I, we're married. Oh. Watch the lightning bolt. Just the word marriage gets me the heebie-jeebies. But we're married, and I'd say, hey, you know, I was on my internet today, and I saw this young lady cooking with Kaya, and she had this recipe for smothered pork chops. I know, I don't think you've ever cooked it before. And look at this recipe. Would you be offended if I showed you the recipe? Why she was shaking her little?
No, I mean, no. I probably, you know, if I'd never heard of it, I'd look like, well, she doing all that. And then I made that second thought be, oh, I see why you were watching her. But if you're interested in the pork chops, then I'll go ahead and fix them.
But the food is the most important. Now, I didn't. If I was trying to hide, if it's not the food that it's not the woman that I want you to see. It's the food, right? Now it will be. It might be a secondary thought, which is fair. Wait a minute,
Right.
you're gonna bring me this chick here talking about fix you this? I wish that, if you curse me, I don't understand. But still, it's not. Listen, if I didn't want you to see the woman, if I thought you know, I'm ogling over this woman, I wouldn't bring it to your attention anyway, right?
Right.
I'd keep that in my, as they like to say over in the manosphere, I like to keep it over in my spank bank. I'm sorry there, ABT, but right now, just right, just a little bit, okay? I scared. But anyway, folks, let's finish.
My bad. Cause literally, when Rosa Parks got pulled over, you know, the police were gonna arrest her. This thing had happened before, but it was a single mom who was 16 and pregnant. And they was like, the community was like, that ain't a good look. You know, we can't even use that in 1960s. It's not a good look. There's a reason we advise people, hey, this is the straight and narrow. Cut your hair, pull your pants up, go to school, leave people alone. The only thing that's saving that boy in Dallas's life, Carmelo Anthony, the only thing that's saving his life is the fact that he is from a 2-parent home. They made $1 million in their business a couple years ago. The father works. They got a nice house. They got paid off cars. He has no criminal record. He got a job at HEB not even a few months ago, right before this incident happened, for his summer job. He has a 4.0 GPA. He had multiple offers to school. This is the only reason it's going to save Carmelo Anthony's life.
And again, you had some of these brothers, these sisters over there tearing this kid down, a 17-year-old kid. Probably the only mistake that he's ever going to make in his life. Not criticizing him especially, but they're criticizing the parents. But on the other hand, although it was tragic, Char, and again, my heart goes out to the folks that lost their young son. But she's a single mama. Well, y'all ain't talking about her, because I guarantee you, if the situation would have been reversed, y'all would have crucified that black woman.
Yep, sure would have.
Stream after stream after stream after stream, trying to point out, well, see, she said this in 2018. She said that in 2018. There's none of that. So, but I bet you we can find some of the shit on her, because it's gonna come out sooner or later, folks, what actually happened. So I hope all you folks that condemned Carmelo Anthony, I hope all of y'all that condemn that family, if this kid is found that he acted in self-defense, I hope y'all will be gracious enough to do commentary on the same. Chances are not.
No.
Ain't
no super chats coming in for
right,
that.
Ain't no super chats coming in for that.
He is a black boy in America. They are looking for a reason. And y'all want to sit here and listen to crackheads and pimps and goofies. It's insulting to everyday black Americans and Native Americans, whoever, who get up every day, put their fucking pants on, and act like they got damn sense. It's insulting.
You damn Skippy. Char, cover your ears for a minute. You damn Skippy. It's just quite insulting to me as a grown ass man to see y'all take the word over fucking Jay Prince or Anton Daniels or Obsidian over the word of somebody that means you absolutely no fucking harm. There's nothing I've ever said to anybody on this platform that would cause you to say that that's a sorry nigga. But I've heard Jay Prince call y'all women bitches. I've heard Anton Daniels say that the worst thing that's ever happened to a black man is a black woman. I've heard Anchor Man call y'all scrags, whores, heifers. I've heard Tommy Sotomayor y'all call y'all everything in the name but a child of God. But y'all follow them niggas in drones. But if I say something to you, I'm a simp. I'm a punk. I'm a pussy. I'm a faggot. That shit don't work over here no more. I'm going to start giving out just what I get. So for all you loose niggas that think you're going to come at me, be prepared this time. Somebody caught me slipping last time. You won't catch me slipping this fucking time. I'm telling the fucking truth about Anton Daniels. Go look for yourself. I'm telling the truth about Jay Prince. Go look for yourself. I'm telling the truth about Obsidian. Go look for yourself. I'm telling the truth about Angry Man. Go look for yourself. But y'all will come over here and tell me a reason why that I shouldn't be saying the shit that I said, because that's our friend. That's our mentor. If that's your mentor in life, if BGS is your mentor, you don't want much. If you can tell me honestly in your real life that you would listen to someone like BGS, something is wrong with you. You will see these men out of shape, fat, nasty, greasy, full sandwich, no content having motherfuckers talk about y'all women, y'all wives, women on the panel, and y'all up there kikiing with them and geekying with them. That's funny. That's funny. I'm that kind of guy. Is you don't get to fuck me over, let a few days pass, and then think it's all right. Okay, Char, you can uncover your ears now.
Okay.
It's insulting to see wealthy black people have to be dragged across the internet by losers. Losers. Every day, losers are out here telling wealthy people who are married and have good lives what they should do. Get out of here, loser.
Right.
Because you already know if we was at a cookout in our family and a crackhead uncle came out and said something, you'd be like, not crackhead Larry talking.
Right.
Why is crackhead Larry talking?
Right.
This is where some of these scoundrels, these losers, have gone to the internet. Manna tomorrow is correct. This internet and the manosphere has attracted the losers of society.
Absolutely, it has. They have no. Hey, Cassandra Brown, how you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. They have absolutely nowhere else to go. This is that. Like I call it, the island of misfits. If y'all think YouTube is bad, go over there to fucking Rumble. Listen to some of the shit that these niggas say on Rumble about black women, about black men. Losers, but they got followers. They got people that listen to them. They got people that super chat them, that pay them. Now, for this, from what I've seen of this young lady, and I'm sure after you sent me this, I did a deep dive doing it. To see her speak like this, that says a lot. Wouldn't you agree, Char?
Yes. I've never seen her this passionate before.
Normally level-headed?
Yeah, she's never been this passionate before. I guess she's like, I done had enough.
I had enough. And sometimes, just like Mr. Hinton, sometimes you just have enough. And folks don't hear you till you scream at them. Nice guys finish last. Nice guys finish last. Even Cassandra, I didn't know that you know this lady, but even you said it yourself. She's always calm.
Yep.
So for her to be this animated, that tells me something. That she's been around and she studied, but she's seen the same thing that I've seen. Char, you've been around long enough that it's true that this shit was not going on. What? It was a small pocket of this shit, but it's everywhere now, isn't it?
It is.
Every day somebody got a new channel bashing women, bashing black women. And then there's a few black women that we have up on these panels that do give you some information. Y'all quick to try and shit on them. I got to shout out PhD again. I don't know the woman A from Adam, but when I do listen to her, at least she makes sense. I don't know Bomb Cherry personally, but I don't, some of the things, I don't agree with what she says, but 90% of the time, I'll say, matter of fact, I'll back up. 85% of the time, she on point. Especially if she make a song about you.
Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad.
Okay. Come on back, Ericka.
On defectives of society. The white manosphere has the defectives of society. Defective men who do not want to be useful, who have no utility, who are not providers, who are not protectors, do not want to participate in society, and then are mad because they do not get the best choice in women. If you have no use, no utility in society, you do not want to play the game, take your ball and take your ass home. We do not care. And that is the ugly truth of society. If you are not useful to society, we have no use for you, what do you want us to do?
And somebody questioned me when I said it about, I told y'all, I know this was a surprise loose nigga roundup. I didn't put it in the title. I wanted to save it for last. But when I said that about Jay Prince, he's useless. He's not, some folks you're going to have to leave behind. And Jay Prince is one of those folks that you got to leave behind. I pity his children. I really do. I hope that his children grow old enough one day that as soon as they're old enough to get the fuck up out of there, that they do. You don't have to recognize. What's the song? What's my man say? It don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine, folks, and it don't take a whole day to recognize fuckery and foolery.
Y'all are mad that they are bringing these illegals into the country who can pick up a hammer, who can be useful, who can buy cars, get loans, build houses. How are you upset with people who are useful? Okay? The reason LeVar Ball, the Sanders, Deion Sanders, and these people have such pushback is not the white society. It is the black society telling them to kiss ass, be humble, and crawl on the ground and be grateful that we even have them on TV. It is disgusting. You guys ought to be disgusted with yourself. It's just pathetic. And internally, your body should revolt from the idea of having to kiss somebody's booty to have any type of standing in this country. That is offensive.
Absolutely it is. It is absolutely offensive.
All levels. So if you get my comment section and you're like, Ericka, this is off, this is a bad take, oh, this is not right, this is good, get lost, go knock on wood, kick rocks, go anywhere.
What do I say, Char? If you come to my comment and leave me a nasty gram, what I'm gonna do?
You gonna leave him one back.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell you to kick rocks. I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna let you know what. Yeah, I do spend it. Listen, folks. Again, on a personal note, there normally we don't go past. I try not to keep it to 2 hours on when I'm doing a live stream, but this was a little important, so I'm gonna probably get to about halfway, 2.5 hours on this one. But as long as I've been in the radio business, as long as I've been in the landscaping business, Char, do you know how many people have actually asked me, Mr. Music, can you teach me what you know?
I can imagine there's a lot.
None.
None?
None. Not one of these loose niggas have ever said, you know what, Mr. Music, because I can't say HT Baldwin because he's already a pro at this, so I don't have to teach him anything. But none of these niggas who express this desire to learn some new shit on a daily basis have ever asked me, Mr. Music, I've heard you say that you haven't worked for anybody in how long? How do you survive? It ain't easy. But you don't hear me saying I'm a 6-figure nigga either. You hear me saying doing those street from December to March, it's hard living.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you heard me say that, Char? Since you know me?
Yeah. You can make a song out of it.
That's right.
And you stick to that. Mm-hmm.
I stick to it. And folks can tell you. They can tell you when I'm busy and when I'm not, because you don't see me on the internet. But from December to early March, you see me a lot. I have time on my hands. But do you see me on the internet now? If you do see me, you see me on my phone because I'm traveling from point A to point B. But I see some of these same niggas go from panel to panel to panel. And guess where they sitting? Because I know where they're sitting at because they live on camera in their damn house.
The reason you are here is because I don't lie. I'll go pull the data up. I'll go pull the numbers. I'll go pull it out. I'll go show it to you. Pause on some of that. I will walk you through the steps to show you the diagram. We are losing cognitive thinking ability in this country, especially in our community. We literally had the movie Sinners. Again, I'm not trying to do spoilers, but you should already watch it. It's been out 2 weeks. The girl playing the part in the movie is Haley Stanfield. Now, let's already get back to it. Her grandfather is half Filipino, half black. And let's be honest, you see some of them Filipinos that got big flat noses. They a hop skitch from a black. A hop and a skitch. Some of the
I've been to the Philippines. I've been to the Philippines several times. There's some folks over there have not been for the only way that you can tell some of the Philippines from the brothers and sisters over here is the hair. And some of them you can't tell. Some of them you can't tell. They're just as dark as me. They're just as sharp. From the pictures I've seen, you're fair skinned. They're just as fair skinned as you are. They have curly hair. They have afros. The phenotypers that if you saw them, you was like, damn. When they get brothers in the Philippines, until they open up their mouth and they start speaking Tagalog, you know they're not from around. They're not from Chicago.
Filipinos. You see on TV a lot of white ones, but actually go to the Philippines. They have multiple islands. They Indonesian, they look like this. They look like this, okay? So we already know that's where she gets the slanty eyes from. That's where she gets the little tinge of the hair is a little bit mixed. By a lot. Her mama had a little bit, but not by a lot. Her dad, it's very weak. She's an octoroon at this point, okay? Now she's in the movie, and the movie literally says the line, my granddaddy fought the Klan and kept them off of me. Like,
I waited for that part. I was going to skip over that part, but I wanted to wait for that part. Where did we hear that short that somebody said the Klan brought them turkeys and hams on Thanksgiving and Christmas?
ABL.
Did y'all hear that? There's a brother out here that's in these YouTube streets that's from West Virginia that has a huge following. Now, do I say do a lot of black folks follow him? I don't think so. But there's enough of them that he told a story. How long ago was this story, Char? Probably about, 7 years ago? 8
If
years
not
ago?
longer. Yeah, something like
longer.
that.
He told the story on a live stream that the Klan used to bring his grandmother. How old is ABL?
Yeah, he used to come to the house. I think is he 40 now? I think he might be 40 now.
Okay. So if he's 40 now, so what he's saying is in the 80s, and in the late 70s, that the Klan used to bring him and his grandmama turkeys. Folks, do y'all remember seeing the Klan running around? The only place I saw the Klan was on TV. They didn't walk around with them suits on no more. Not in the 80s. They knew better. Y'all seen any Klan running around other than the Jerry Springer show in the 90s? What about the 2000s? The last appearance that we saw of the Klan was in Charlottesville, and then Trump said there was both people on good people on both sides. That's when that was the reappearance of the Klan rope. Did y'all realize that?
Wow.
That's when they officially started wearing them again. Charlottesville. And they knew that Trump was going to be in power.
From killing her family. So that means if you pay FBI for years, all these rap songs y'all have talking against snitches and rats, knock it off. What are you talking about? Y'all listening to the rats. Y'all supporting the rats. Y'all clapping the rats. Y'all thinking the rats are the cool guys. Y'all think
grown ass folks talking about drill music is the shit. Drill music is what's hot. It's what folks are listening to. Yeah, they ain't listening to it for long. Because guess what? You know why they ain't listening to drill music for long, folks? Because the folks that's making it is dead. Name me one prominent drill rapper that's come out of that scene unscathed. Name one. Anybody? Chief Keef, King Von, Mo 3, XS Tension. What's the brother out of Houston? What about it? There's no snitching policy. What's going on with Puffy right now? That folks been telling you that Puffy has been that kind of guy for years, but there's some people that saying Puffy is caught a bad rap. In these YouTube streets, they will say that Shannon Sharp caught a bad rap. Why? Because she's an OnlyFans model. Because she's an OnlyFans model, that gives y'all the right to disrespect her. That gives y'all the right to sit on these panels and talk shit about her. Alleviate the responsibility from Shannon Sharp as a 50-some-year-old man cavorting around with a 19-year-old. You couldn't have been too proud of it because you didn't walk around with nobody, and when people took pictures of you, you had them summarily hidden or destroyed. So you couldn't have been too proud of the relationship. There's grown niggas over there talking about if the age limit was 16. We covered that last week. That they're law-abiding citizens, so they would follow the law. These are the guys that y'all follow in the YouTube streets. These are the guys that y'all say that are better than me, that know more than me, that know more than the APT TVs, even the Big J's, even the Sharon Bracy's, because as soon as Sharon Bracy says something to y'all that y'all don't like, the first thing y'all do is question his sexuality, although he has a wife and children in the house. First thing y'all do. You'll make streams about what you saw down in the chat room. You'll talk shit about HT Baldwin because he didn't agree with you. Or you'll call somebody old because they don't agree with your philosophy about what you thought about Kyle Rittenhouse, or what you thought about the young Carmelo Anthony. If you want to say I'm on the side of Carmelo Anthony because he's black, that's fine. If you want to say I'm on the side of Rodney Hinton because I'm black, that's fine. Because you saw what happens when we go against them and we point out their badness. They'll allow these folks to make money off of it. It ain't the white folks talking down on us, folks. It's the black folks, and that's what I'm pointing out tonight. It ain't about the white folks. It's about y'all. It's about the choices that y'all make on these platforms that you take out into the YouTube streets, telling folks that, look, I got this huge platform. If people treat me like a king, angry man. BGS. I know one thing for sure. Nothing that I've left behind on the YouTube streets that I would not want my nieces or my sons to watch. I bet BGS can't say that. I bet Angry Man can't say that. I bet Obsidian can't say that. I bet Fresh and Fit can't say that. If Roger Allen Curry was still alive, I bet he couldn't say it. If Kevin Samuels was still alive, I bet he couldn't say it. I bet there's a part of their YouTube career that they would try to hide from their family, or they would try to keep out of the public eye. And I'm not talking about the personal part of it, of course. That's totally different. I'm talking about their YouTube career, that they don't want their family to know that they're talking like this, especially these guys that are married. Because as soon as their wife come home from work at 7 o'clock, you notice some of them log off. I gotta go. Wife home. You sit there for 8 hours a day talking shit about the very woman that's taking care of you, huh, Angry Man? Charlie, we're going to wrap this up here. I'm right at the 30-minute mark. Anything you want to say to the folks before we get out of here?
Like, share, and subscribe.
That's it, folks. Please.
Happy Mother's Day.
That's right. For those folks that's coming up this Sunday, happy Mother's Day. Of course, I will be celebrating Mother's Day. I have a playlist that's dedicated to the mothers, folks. It's going to be uninterrupted, going to be commercial free. I'm not going to call out names. I'm not going to shout outs. I'm just going to play music dedicated to the mothers. So if you know somebody that's a mother, or that used to be a mother, or if you want to pay homage to your mother, that's gone on, because mine have gone on. So that's the focus of this show that I'm doing this Sunday, to paying homage to my mother. So if you folks want to do the same, you can come down to listening lounge and join us there, or you can tune in to Classic R&B Jams. The links are provided down in the description box. And please, by all means, stop on by and say hello, and wish your whether she's here with us, with you, or whether she's passed on, wish your mother a happy Mother's Day, because there's no better way to celebrate your mother to me with music. Some of it's gonna make you cry, some of it's gonna make you happy, but I guarantee you, it's going to make you remember your mama. With that, ladies and gentlemen, again, like, share, and subscribe. Check out HT Ball 1 Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Classic R&B Jams with the Soulful House Mix. My man does his thing over there. Again, I got to say it, brother, another great show last night. There was two particular songs that you mixed together last night. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I was like, you got to be a professional to catch that, to know that transition got to be on point. So good shout out to you, my man. A great show last night. With that, folks, we up out of here. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you.
Look, all you motherfuckers been snitching for him and shit.
Well, now you standing up in here and goddamn it talking about preacher. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that. I'm gonna shoot your ass too, motherfucker. Keep on. You gonna get shot too, nigga. You gonna get shot. God bless the fool, goddammit. God bless the fool. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna end this goddamn thing. Look, where's that goddamn money bowl at? Who got that money bowl? We taking that money right now before you leave this bitch. We ain't leaving out here for free, motherfucker. Yeah. Y'all know the motherfucker ain't no good. You want, look,